Hey guys, what's up? It's Schla coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Schla. And today, before I was starting the recording, I was kind of just thinking of singing, and so I was saying maybe we should turn this into singing with Schla or something. But I'm not going to do that because sadly can't really get away with that because of copyright and stuff. Actually, I don't even think copyright would trigger. So maybe that's not even half bad of a thought of an idea. I'm gonna have to get gas. I don't know when I will do that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure when I'm gonna do that. I woke up around 4 times last night. I don't know why. I didn't do anything out of the ordinary yesterday. I just didn't. And yet that happened. And after every time I woke up, it was during a dream. And it's a little bit difficult to remember all the dreams at first. But the first one I'm actually remembering now, it took place at like the alternate work environment, which I've dreamt of before. And I'm glad because this is actually just coming to me now. This was just lost. There is a alternate job place that's in my dreams, and it looks like my work, but it feels like it's supposed to be my work, but it's a better place. It's not. It doesn't look like how my job looks. It looks better. It looks nicer. And somehow, for some reason, an old friend was there who I had recently tried to contact, but they never responded, which I wasn't really expecting them to respond. But they never responded when I tried texting them. A friend from elementary school. But he was in the dream, and in the dream, for some reason, I saw him at work. So he was at my job, which, that wouldn't make any sense, but he was there. And trying to think. Yeah, where am I going with this? I don't like how this thing keeps sagging. I'm going to put it like way up, and hopefully it won't keep sagging down that much. Anyways, sorry, I was just adjusting the microphone position. So he was there, and he was walking to his car because I was going home too. And I was like, hey, how you been? Like, I tried texting you and you didn't respond to my messages. And he was like, yeah, no, I just did. Did you not see that? I was busy. Or he was like, I don't know. I guess I was busy at the time or something. I didn't mean to do that. And then we caught up and we touched base, and he was acting like we could have called when I got home. And then there was still this Mini Cooper in like the back of the parking lot, and then this other car that was a made up car. It was sort of like the Mini Cooper's size, but if anything, even a little smaller. And it just looked very fancy. And I was saying, whose cars are these? I always see these parked here. Because again, it was a continuation of this previous place that I've been before, which is that slightly different and better work job site. It's the same as my job, but it's better. I don't really think there's too much else to glean off of that dream. It wasn't really as detailed as the first dream I had in that environment. So it was more of a shorter thing. And then I don't really remember the other 3 dreams because they just, it's tricky. It's tricky to remember them when you have so many like that. I want to try to get a setup where I can easily record after I've had a dream. I should do that. I should have that ready. I actually just realized too, I could easily do it with my phone. So I should have that more set up, I guess. But I want to get another one of those microphones for it. Because I was thinking I would use that one mic that I have that I do the walk switch law with, but I can't have that out of my bag in case, even now, walk switch law, I don't know how I would do it because I really want to do it with this setup, but I'm afraid this setup is just too bulky. I would need a backpack in order to actually do walk switch law, like a tiny backpack. And I just don't have that at the moment. So I probably should just need to, I don't know why I'm wording it, should just like need to, I probably just need to get a pretty small backpack for this stuff and have a separate bag, and then I'd be able to do walk switch law with it. I'm pretty sure if you just gave me a separate bag, I could just take it with me on my break, to do my walk switch law recording. So because it's a shame. It's a lot to haul around, especially while you're walking, but at the same time, I'm so happy with this microphone and with this setup. It would be a lot easier to do the other thing, but I just really would think this would be a better idea. I think the only thing that it gets kind of tricky with is that the compressor would probably need to be adjusted for the outdoors. And even in general, I kind of feel like this compressor, maybe it should be tweaked down slightly. It's kind of difficult to say. I just think that the super amped up sound, it's not, maybe it doesn't fit what I'm going for exactly or something like that. I don't know how to word what I'm trying to get at, but I'm not sure. I feel like for the outdoors too, there's going to be even more background noise. And it's kind of a shame that mic I had to do it with, it's not all that good. It's just not. I don't know. I was never really impressed with the sound by it, but I don't think there's really any other microphone that would be better than that one. So it is what it is. Like, I really wish I could do the walk switch law on this setup too. I just think I can't at the moment, and it's coming up to where I really need to get this figured out. I'd even want more of a hard shell backpack, like a small backpack that has more structuring. What I don't like about bags is that they're usually very flimsy. I want a very small bag that still has structuring so that the microphone and things can be placed inside and not really get disturbed. That's kind of what I'm thinking about, or what I'm wanting. Yeah, I still feel like it's been a slow time for me since I spent such an excessive amount of money, and in a way still did, because then now I have to pay for all this microphone stuff I bought, which was, I mean, I got a lot of really good deals. I spent a lot less than I could have, so it's extremely fortunate. But at the same time, it was still a lot of money. And I have to pay that off, so we're already in March, and I'm not really out of the... Like, I'm not really afloat yet. My bank account has still just been flatlined for a while. And that's the first time that's happened in a long time, because I just went... I mean, since Christmas, it's just been a lot of money that I've spent. A lot of very expensive things. Not necessarily things that I really regret all that much. I'm pretty chill with what I did. It's just like a timing thing. It's a hump you have to kind of get over. And I'm still in the thick of it. I don't think I'm really gonna... At first I thought it was gonna take until March to feel better, but I think it's actually gonna take until April before I'm really on a positive trajectory where things look up. And then May, of course, is going to be the main thing. I think by May I'll be fairly happy with where I'm at. But it's just been a rough stretch, because I'm not really... It doesn't seem like things are really getting better, because you're just... I don't know. Again, the bank account, it's not going up. It's just staying steady, and it's been months, and I'm used to being able to save, and I worry about the future and all that stuff, so... Yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought, because I was explaining yesterday, since I veil things, my brain, I don't say certain things that I think sometimes, because I don't want them to be public domain necessarily, if it's an interaction with a person. But I'd have near unlimited things to say, but a lot of it wouldn't even make that much sense, because you guys don't have the context about the people I'm talking about. I just think that hypothetically someday, if I feel free enough and confident enough to just speak my mind, I think it would be a very entertaining experience. Now, I don't know that it would be as professional. I think it would kind of be more of an entertainment show, because as it is now, I try to think more about what I'm saying, obviously, and I'm treating the microphone as a public platform. I'm not treating it like, oh, this is literally my mind, I can say whatever I want. That's not how I'm treating it. So it's a pretty big difference. Kind of a shame though, but again, I don't really want to get into the explanation why, but I guess I don't really have people in my life that I'm truly comfortable with at this point. And so the people that I know, I don't really think I trust them enough to be able to speak my mind, and then it's obviously recorded and it's out there, and then that's it. So there is some kind of a filter that's applied. And I think if that filter was taken off, that would be a pretty major step. But I don't even think we're going to get there until I'd be ready to. Well, yeah, I mean, the face reveal is a whole other veil to get lifted as well. There's a lot of veils that I keep up, and I don't know. I wonder how good that is for me, or if it's not something good. Because it might not be. Might not be something good for me at all. It could be that I'm supposed to just jump out there now. That could be my key to success. Get personal. Get intimate. Get personal. Forget about people's boundaries and but I'm not that kind of person, even though that's how I've been treated always. I've always been treated with those expectations, and I hold to them, but other people towards me, they will violate all kinds of boundaries, and then you tell a person nicely and then they keep doing it, and then you tell them nicely again and they keep doing it. Yeah, it's just an odd little spot. For a little bit, I felt like a lift or a breath of fresh air, that I was out of whatever period I was in before fully. But then now it's like there's kind of like some speed bumps. We're not just kicking into gear. It kind of felt like that it would be that way for a little bit, but now it's kind of not. Now we're back to, it's a little bit of a struggle. It's not perfect. Again, the way I slept last night, not perfect. So there's a lot. There's a lot of factors that could be at play, but I did sleep a lot of hours, though. I'm pretty sure I got a decent amount of hours in. So that should be a good situation in that regard, but the waking up was not good. Yeah, and I still have those thoughts about why am I not able to talk? Because it's been a lot of these kind of introspection or myself conversations, and I don't know. I mean, maybe that does land. Maybe people like that more than. I guess it's. I mean, it's a little bit more repetitive. I feel it's. I guess it can be more vulnerable. I can be more vulnerable when I talk about these kinds of things about myself, and yeah, I guess you could say it's more vulnerable. But to me, it doesn't feel as impressive when I'm talking about these big systemic issues and, what's wrong with the system, what's wrong with the world. And, those are really where I feel like, yeah, like I'm getting good content out there. I'm getting content out there that is powerful. It's big. But I don't know. I don't know as a listener, because that might not land with certain people. Some people might feel like that's just overly judgmental and not really something they can digest easily. Whereas if I'm just talking about myself, it's a little bit more white noise. It's not really something that I just think there must have been some kind of perfect storm earlier where I even had the stamina to be cooking all that up. Because I just don't really have it right now. So I guess you can't force it. It's definitely just one of those things. I don't know, I might want to make a certain type of content, but if I just can't, I can't. I don't know what I'm supposed to do if it's just not what comes up. Or in this case, what comes out. In this case, what comes out. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what to do in that regard. I mean, I guess that's a skill that's pretty important. to be able to have some kind of control over what you say. But most of my ways of doing things, I just don't have any control over. It's just sparks. Even with the music, it was the same way. I mean, I can't organize anything, but maybe that's part of the path I'm supposed to pursue. You know, maybe that's part of the whole thing, is figuring out is figuring out how to organize and do things in that kind of a way. Because a lot of what I do with the music, it was just a mess. It was just, you know, think of something, do it, and then drop a verse over it. There was nothing there was nothing to it. I wasn't, and even now with Car Rides with Schla, it's the same thing. It's just have the mic on while I'm driving and I'm just talking, and there's not really, I can't say to myself, oh, well, I want this episode to be more personal. I'd like this episode to be larger, more systems based, or this episode I want to be talking about philosophy, or this episode I want to be talking about God. I almost think as time has went on, I don't know if this has improved or not, because I want to say that in the past there are these like spurts of time where I can be more focused. I think I have those spurts. But they come and go. Because it's not like Walks with Schla was the first episode I did. It wasn't. It was kind of in the middle of the whole series. I mean, I want to say like the middle, but yeah, kind of. It wasn't the beginning. And it's the same with how in the beginning I was just able to be very fun and loud, and then that still hasn't really come back for some reason. Just a bunch of things I don't have control over. Or that's kind of what we're talking about, is I don't feel like I have control over them now. I guess that doesn't necessarily mean I don't have control over them, but it's how it feels. It just feels like all this stuff happens and I don't really know where it's coming from. I don't know where it's coming from. So I haven't, whatever I have, I've just never been able to really control it much or make it anything. So that, I guess that would be a good exercise, is what I'm getting to, is I should be able to think to myself, I want to talk about this topic, and then just be able to do that instead of feeling relatively helpless, like I'm just at the whims of whatever my brain or wherever any of this comes from is even coming from. Because that's how it feels right now. You know, I make the decision, the conscious choice to turn the microphone on. But in terms of anything beyond that, it's just whatever happens. I didn't think that this is how this episode... If anything, I had other ideas yesterday about maybe how the episode would be, but then by the time we get to today, oh, that's just a whole other thing. And then, you know, it just keeps becoming all these different things. And even with the silence and even with needing to think about different things, because actually, you know what, this is a good thing to kind of explain and point out, is that if I didn't have those moments of silence, we'd have a topic change. Because the moments of silence, they're usually when I think about something that I don't want to disclose, or I don't want to say, or maybe that it wouldn't really make sense to the listener because you would need context in order to even know what I'm talking about. But either way, even if it would just be like a random, abrupt change in the conversation, and I just don't think that's great. I mean, maybe it is. Like I said, I mean, I kind of thought in this day and age that kind of a style probably has a lot of appeal because it's a little more entertaining, even if the structuring is worse, to be bouncing around like that. It is more entertaining. It's probably easier. Well, kind of depends on who you are, but most people's attention spans are kind of messed up. So if you had, and I mean, even with the way editing typically works, editing kind of does that anyway. So it's kind of like pre-edited. Switching around to different things, avoiding the boring stuff. It's kind of like that. But hopefully we're emerging to a spot where I have more control over these things. I just think with how it's been, it's going to be a bad batch of episodes. I think it's going to be a bad era for. I think it's going to be a bad era for car rides with Schley. I don't really think I've been too happy with it. It doesn't seem all that spectacular. Just seems like now I'm just a normal guy. I'm probably not, but that's just kind of how it feels, you know. I should have gotten my phone out earlier. I think I'll still have it out in time. Yeah, we got the phone out in time. No worries, friends. Whoa. Ugh. They always do this. It always goes like, wow, yeah, we've really been getting lucky. That was a 58 second. Yesterday was a 59 second. So that's kind of crazy. All right, well, I'm kind of drained. I don't have too much to say. It's a shame. I don't it's just been a rough patch and it's a shame because we got the new mic. It's all flashy, it's all bright, it's all new, but then, we don't really have the energy to be taking advantage of it. Because I just don't know. It's a lot of those deeper kind of topics that I'm not hitting. Like, I don't get it. Before, before I would naturally hit those deep topics, like, I was naturally hitting them. I remember the beginning of this show. The beginning of this show was great, and it's a shame because it didn't even have the good equipment. It still had the trash equipment. So it's no good. It's just no good. Yeah, I'm kind of getting confused, I guess. Well, I do think it's probably been Schla, and now it's time to buy Schla. So, see ya, Schla.